Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reece, and welcome back to another week of Just a Thought. Today, man, we're gonna be talking about um, visualization. How key it is to be able to start manifesting the things that you want, and also to visualize them. Right. So a lot of the times we want something, but we never see ourselves having it. We never try to imagine what it will feel like to actually be able to have that thing. You know what I'm saying? So today we're going to get off into visualization, how important visualization is. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe, make sure you love it, make sure you're enjoying the content. We are live here on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And here's another week of Just a Thought, man. Let's get off into it. Let's bring the best intro in the world in. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get it. Hey, yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reece, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reece. See you soon. Before I get started, make sure that you like the content, subscribe, love. Also, you could be able to do donations in our super chat as well. You want to be able to leave comments also, man. We definitely will be able to get back with you, right? So this week we're going to be talking about visualization and how important it is. I think a lot of the times, man, we really don't. We want something and we say we want it, but we never see ourselves having it. We just think it's a pipe dream and just throw it out the window. But what you have to really do is to start going towards that thing, man. And it really starts to being able to happen because you can't see yourself being anything else but what it is that you see. Man, I remember just as a kid, I always saw myself being able to teach to people. I always saw myself as somebody that wanted to be used. And what I mean by being used is as far as like being used by the Most High to be whatever it is that I'm supposed to be here to give words to people. And maybe you're a basketball player, maybe you're a baseball player, and you don't believe in what it is that you're doing. But all you got to do is just start doing it. Start doing it and start seeing yourself doing it. You know what I mean? The one thing about it is sometimes what most people do is they get so caught up in their dreams that they start never making it reality. They always say, "Hey, look, I'm an artist." And if you're an artist, then people should be able to go to your page and be able to see your work or see whatever it is that you're doing. Other than that, you're just dreaming. And what visualization does is that what you have to do with visualization is you have to bring that dream and you have to bring that physical world into reality because it all starts spiritual. And the spiritual is the actual dream. So you get into spirit and you're like, hey, this is what I want. But then as you manifest what it is that you want, you have to start doing, because that's when the Most High and that's when the light, that's when the universe can be able to start using you to the fullest capacity because it's not confused about what you want to do. And see, here's the difference, right? So some people will be like, okay, and this is happened to me, so this is why I'm going to use this. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I do music. What most people will do is they'll get off, they'll mix it with their everyday work life, right? And I always say I'm not against jobs. I think people should be able to get whatever form of income that they need to be able to get if that's what they want to do. But if you don't want to confuse the universe, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to start bringing those dreams into reality, and you're going to have to learn how to be able to take a chance. If you're a musician, you're going to have to become a musician on a full-time basis, and you're going to have to go through whatever that struggle is to be a musician. When you hear the best people talk about their stories, you hear them talk about how they had nothing. They were sleeping on the floor, and then all of a sudden something happened. It was because what happened is that they dreamed about becoming that star. And not only did they dream about it, they started doing. And then what they started doing is no matter what happened, they didn't get off their path to becoming a musician or becoming an artist or becoming whatever it is. They never veered left, veered right, and confused the universe, because even God doesn't know what you want until you start doing it. I'm gonna play a video later on today by my man Reverend Ike, who also explains the same thing. And so ultimately, we just have to get to that place of start visualizing and doing. And knowing and doing are two different things, and that's another topic we could touch on another day. But being able to see yourself, smell it, be it, become it, that's when you ultimately start reaching into your purpose. I'm not saying you have to be a struggling artist. I'm not saying that you have to go through things, because most people are, most people don't want to live uncomfortable. But the reality of it is if that you want that dream, you have to learn how to be able to get uncomfortable. All right. And so today, man, I'm going to play a couple of videos as always, you know what I'm saying, and play some of the guys that definitely go into visualization. One of the guys that I definitely love, and if you have an appreciation for sports and things like that, Kobe Bryant always talks about how he visualized everything that he was doing before he actually did it, which made him the ultimate competitor. I know it's a lot of debate about who's the best this or who's the best this, but I also believe that mentally, that mentality of pushing myself forward no matter what happens is the ultimate attitude to be able to have, because some of us aren't going to be able to jump like Michael Jordan, have a freakish body like LeBron James, or be able to do the other things, but it's learning how to do what you can do with this particular vehicle. And that's being able to visualize what it is that you have, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to play a video from Kobe, and we'll be right back, all right?
Like sometimes you lay down in bed and you visualize things. You just kind of, that's at least how I would go to sleep. I'd lay down, I'd imagine playing for the Lakers, and I'd imagine what the uniforms look like. I'd imagine where we'd be playing, and, the smell of the arena and all sorts of stuff. And I would see myself, getting hot, and score 10 straight points. But in a dream, like, why would you ever interrupt that? Like, you're not going to have a dream and be like, okay, and then he misses his next 6. Like, it's not going to happen. So you just keep dreaming and dreaming and dreaming. And before I go to sleep, I'm like at 120 points, And so when you grow up, downloading that into your brain over and over and over. And then, that summer, I made 1,000 shots a day. 1,000, right? That's on top of weight training and my conditioning. I made 1,000 shots, and they weren't just shots. It were shots that you saw in that game. There were specific shots. I mean, it was coming out of the corner, going to the pinch post, footwork in the post, coming off the screen. It was very specific. So when you download that into your system and you go out in the court and you're just executing things that you've done thousands of times before, and you have that dream, then that becomes possible.
As a neuroscientist, what do you attribute when people talk about visualization? And visualization is it's a huge factor in improving technical skills, specifically martial arts, which is I'm a big fan of, obviously. Martial arts, when you visualize, people who visualize, who sit down and like go over their body, going through the motions and doing things, those people perform better. They perform better. They learn quicker. What do you attribute that to? Do you think it's the same thing as what's happening when you're sleeping, just maybe to a lesser extent?
I think it's to a lesser extent, but people have done those studies where they've looked at sort of whether you actually physically practice, let's say on a keyboard, just because it's easier to sort of manage in a laboratory, versus just imagining sort of typing out that sequence. And just the act of physical visualization, of sort of imagination of that motor skill, it's about 50% as effective as physically performing it too. And it's
all right, man. So look, check this out. I'm going to chime in on this video, and we're going to talk about this, right? So think about what he said. It's responsible. Your visualization is responsible for 50% of actually what it is that you're doing. And so that 50% is the visualization piece that needs to be able, that's the spiritual piece. See, all this stuff comes back to being spiritual because it's the unseen. It's the unseen, but it's the seen, and you're using the eye that matters, not the eyes that don't matter. And I hope I didn't miss anybody on that. You know what I mean? Because what happens is we get so caught up in looking with our actual eyes, our actual two eyes, that we ultimately forget the one that actually leads us to the place that we need to is inside of us. It's the visualization piece. It's the visualization eye, the unseen eye. That's why they call it the third eye. It's the unseen eye. And when you ultimately tap into that, it's 50%, which means that it's more responsible for you actually doing it than actual doing it. And it's just as important. So seeing yourself doing the act before you actually do it is just as important as actually doing it. And so I think that's where the balance of the universe actually has to come and kick in. And that's why when I say you can't confuse your mind with what you want versus what you're doing. Because okay, we see ourselves in our head being this great basketball player. We see ourselves being this martial arts player or martial arts, or we see ourselves being a writer, or we see ourselves doing all these different things. But then in the physical form, we work at the post office. And the reality of it is that before that manifestation can be able to happen, or before any of that stuff can be able to happen, you're going to have to go through whatever it is to become that person, and to become what it is that you see inside of yourself. And I think a lot of the times that's where we get so distracted and we get off our path that we don't want to, or we can't complete what it is that we're doing because we're too busy daydreaming about it and not doing it. And that's the difference between knowing and doing as well, right? And so that's why I think a lot of our time gets spent. And like I said, man, you guys in the comments, you could be able to leave some comments and also chime in and let me know what it is that you guys think, because ultimately we're here to be able to grow as a community. And so your comments are important. So I'm getting ready to get off into another visualization video with my man Reverend Knight. Matter of fact, before we do that, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back after this. All right. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you love, make sure you share. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of cool giveaways that's gonna be coming out this month. You know what I mean? Make sure you go into the clothing line. We got the 9 collections with the S. Go over there so you could be able to shop. You can go and get you a spiritual advisory shirt. Everything that you want to be able to get from the 9 collection. You know what I'm saying? Donate, all that stuff. The link tree is in the description. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reece, and it's another week of Just a Thought.
Are innovative. You have the power to move mountains. You have the power to be able to do anything that you want. It all exists in your mouth, and in the way you think. And your spirit loves you so much that your spirit will agree with you, or anything that you say to it. So if you tell your spirit that you're broke, your spirit is going to believe you. Overall, your spirit just loves you and wants the best for you. We give ourselves such a hard time trying to fit into what the world calls normal. How about if you challenged yourself in such a way that you had no choice but to grow? Then perhaps you might see the greatness that you have stored inside your kingdom. And that's when you will see you had the true keys to the kingdom the whole time. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace.
Like I said, man, this is another week of Just a Thought, and I'm glad to be able to have you guys here, right? So we're talking about visualization. Visualization is so important to our conscious, because that is what is the connection between us and ultimately the power that we call God, the universe, or whatever it is that you choose to be able to call it. Or if you don't call it anything, that's cool too. But also know that it's a connection to be able to make sure that you are getting to your blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's always a connection between you and your blessing. And that's, even if that's the visualization that you choose to be able to praise or whatever it is ultimately going to be the thing that's going to stop you from being able to move forward and not being able to get to what it is that you love doing. Some of the practices that I choose to be able to do when I'm doing visualization is learning how to do meditation, right? And what I'm gonna do is after I get through playing with Reverend Ike, I'm gonna play a Reverend Ike video. And what we're gonna do is after that, I'm gonna give you some techniques that you could be able to use to start being able to do visualization treatments or visualization talks to yourself. All right. So let's get off into it. We're gonna play another video by my man Reverend Ike.
When you want to break through, when you want to be, to do, and to have something is what? Decide it. Then miracles start happening. If you would just decide, miracles would start happening. Because you know, even God doesn't know what to do for you until you decide. Even Jesus said to the blind man, "What wilt thou that I should do unto you?" The scribes and Pharisees standing by said, "No, he's supposed to be such a great teacher, such a great spiritual master. He should know. Can't he see that the man is blind?" But the point is, God wants to show us that we've got to make a decision. We got to decide it, and we got to say it. I like this verse of scripture from somewhere in the Bible. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Say that. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. You see, some of you ain't getting nothing because you ain't saying nothing. You ain't deciding nothing and ain't saying nothing. By the way, if you didn't hear, that lady who asked, should she get the book or should she come to the seminar? Because she only had $15 and it would either be the book or the seminar. And I told her if God couldn't provide $15 for her to come to the seminar and getting the book yesterday to shuck him, God has just been saved. God has just been saved to shucking. She's here. Where are you, lady? Stand up. I met her out there at the book stand. Where are you? Oh, there she is. Stand up. Come on. Give her a big hand. You see, that's another technique I'll throw in for the same money. You got to put God on the spot. What did I say? See, that's putting God on the spot. So she put God on the spot. I didn't ask her how she got that $15, but... But you see, the same way that you demonstrated that, because, you know, I talked to her out there. My goodness, when I've spoken twice on Sunday morning and you can't demonstrate $15 overnight, that doesn't say much for me, God, or anybody else. And you see, I insist upon demonstration. All right, decided. So she had to decide that she was going to be here, and she's here. I want to repeat this again. I want to be redundant because I want you to hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, once you make a decision, miracles will begin to happen. Say that to the person sitting on either side of you. Make a decision and miracles will happen.
Most people can't get to what it is they want because they haven't made a decision about what they want. And I can fully testify for that myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as you really be thinking that you're ultimately on your path and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, as you learn the visualization treatments or you learn the visualization techniques, you start realizing that our mind has us all over the place because we get so caught up in our fears and our worry. We start worrying about what if we decide that, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go towards my goals. No matter how that looks, I'm going to go towards it and I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to stay locked into that. what happens and what stops us from getting locked into that is the fear. So what happens is our fears start kicking in. Our fear of not being able to pay our bills or paying this or doing this or how people are going to feel about us if we're not doing the things that they're used to us being able to do. And so what happens is that we fall right back into that comfort zone. And that comfort zone is what's keeping you from your blessing. It doesn't say anything, any video that I played today, it said nothing about converting back to your fears. It's all about your visualization and staying locked into that. And I mean locked in. No matter what's going to happen, no matter who says what, no matter how many times I fall, fail, or whatever it may look like to other people, I'm going to stay on the path that I want to be able to stay on and go towards my dream. And that is the hardest thing, you know what I'm saying, when we're living in this society and most people fall on the wayside of their dreams and always talk about what they wanted to do, and then also they get into a place where they try to throw it off on maybe their kids, or they try to throw it off on somebody else to be able to do it. No, God didn't call them to do that. They called you to be able to do that. So it's up to you not to miss your blessing and your purpose. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to give you guys some techniques that you could possibly be able to use to be able to start using in visualization for yourself and anybody else that you might run in contact with. All right. So one, I would say meditation. And what I mean by meditation is that some people always say, hey, I can't meditate. My mind can't stay on this long, or my mind can't do this. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna call this not meditation. I'm gonna call this visualization. And that's when you're able to close your eyes and grab this. And focus. Not thinking about anything else but what it is that you want for your life, not what you don't want. Because what you don't want can get caught up in what it is that you want. And that's the confusion that I think that happens during meditation. So make sure that you're focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. And then, as Reverend Ike said in the video, because what we were talking about with that one is what kind of like what Kobe Bryant was talking about. That's the visualization piece. What Reverend Ike was implying is you have to decide. You have to decide that no matter what's going to happen, that if this is what I'm going to visualize, I'm going to decide no matter what happens, I'm going to stay on this path. And it doesn't matter who gets in my way, who tells me I can't get this goal, who tells me that's far-fetched, that's not real. I'm going to keep going no matter what happens. That's the decision. Also, just being able to get into quiet places, you know what I mean? I wouldn't suggest that you try to visualize in a crowdy place, but you can. But I would say until you're able to get to that place where you're able to quiet your mind down, you should really try it by yourself. Try before you go to sleep. Do a visualization thing on yourself. Tell yourself, I am great. I am prosperous. Start speaking affirmations to yourself every day. Those are some of the things that could be able to help you stay focused. All right. And so, with that being said, man, that's going to conclude another week of Just a Thought. And I hope that any of these treatments and anything that we talked about today is able to resonate with you. You know, for me, I know when I'm able to talk to you guys, I'm always able to take this stuff and be like, you know what? I'm going to get myself better, because as I talk about it, it only makes you want to be able to lock in more and more and more. And so I hope these words were able to help you, to encourage you to be able to stay focused on your path and stay focused on your journey and everything that it is that you want, you love, and you want to be able to ultimately bring in your world. All right. So that concludes another week of Just a Thought. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're listening to us over there on Spotify as well. You can follow us on all of our other social media pages. Man, Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reece, man, and that's another week of Just a Thought. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna leave you guys with another video, man, because I'm feeling blessed. Y'all should be feeling blessed, and I want to leave you with a blessing. You know what I mean? So this me, this your boy Jarmel Reece, man. It's the song "Blessed Up." Man, peace out, man. Rest in peace to my boy G for this song, man. We was out in LA and did this, man. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Yeah, it's what it feel like, man. It's what it feel like to be a champion. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah. Before I hit the streets, I get prayed up. Glad today that I woke up. Hidden lines, they make up. They small size like an A cup. They make up just anything. Sell y'all like anything. Tell y'all like anything. So don't believe these human beings. My mind changed, my time came. My time came, my mind changed. Won this one for the land, y'all. Kinda like I'm LeBron James, but I'm falling on another level. You should see my whip is tinted. It's a new edition. You'll swear to God that Michael Bivens was in it. See my team, we just go get it. Go so hard just to win that penny. If I like it, I'm just gonna get it. Can't waste my time out here trying to rent it. Boy, I'm standing here for a purpose. So tell me what's your purpose. You better find your purpose before you leave this service. I'm about to hit the mall. I'm about to get my kids. We about to copy that. My mama say I'm blessed. My daddy say I'm blessed. My hood say I'm blessed. And right now I'm at my best. I'm blessed, got paid. I'm about to hit the mall. I'm about to get my kids, we about to cop it off. My mama say I'm blessed, my daddy say I'm blessed, my hood say I'm blessed. Right now I'm in my best. Hey yo, even though I'm blessed, what's that? I ain't ran from no sin. I've been around, I get around. I've been to places y'all been. I smashed out on them chicks. What else? I've been around them bricks. I sold weed, I smoked weed. I've been around to tell this. I've been to jail, I bailed out. I went to jail and bailed back. What else? I'm giving y'all my real life. And they giving y'all fake raps. I come around, they fake smile, they giving me fake daps. They say they from that real hood. Where they do that? Never mind. They ain't never gonna take mine. These record labels, they coming for me. I'm independent like Tech Nine. I own my own master. Cause I'm my own master. That's right. You slave rappers don't own nothing. You better call y'all masters and tell them the king is back. That's right. Tell them the king is back. That's right. I ran around this whole city with my whole city on my back. Now shout out to my A1s. Shout out to my day ones. I face all, don't fear none. Don't play dumb. I just got paid. I'm about to hit the mall. I'm about to get my kids, we about to copy it. My mama say I'm blessed, my daddy say I'm blessed, my hood say I'm blessed, and right now I'm in my best. I just got paid. I'm about to hit the mall. I'm about to get my kids, we about to copy it. My mama say I'm blessed, my daddy say I'm blessed, my hood say I'm blessed, and right now I'm in my best. Hey, this what it feel like when you achieve cold-blooded excellence. Hey G, what up, man? I see you smiling. Yeah. Jay, what's up, baby? JQ, S Mill, Young Polo, 3D, I see you, man. Whole north side, you know what I'm talking about? We blessed, man. We on a whole nother level, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Hey, them boys up south don't really feel this one, you know what I'm talking about? Man, and them boys up north, man, up east, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all really gon' feel this one too, man. Hey, shout out to them cats up west, man. Hey, when you ride in your little low riders or whatever, you just ride, man, just let that sun hit your skin, baby, and feel blessed. To all my beautiful black queens, you know what I'm talking about? You blessed, baby. Blessed ain't just a word, man, it's a way of life. Waking up is a blessing. It ain't nothing materialistic, you dig? It's the boy Jarmel Reece in real life, not in fake life, you know what I'm saying? Cause they just faking with their life, you know what I'm talking about? Praises to the Most High.